Good morning, dear students. Good morning, dear students. Utkarsh, Sadvika, Mayur, Ashutosh, Sohani, Shraddha, Kaldani. Good morning to each one of you. Today we are going to continue our lesson, which is Silk Road. So, dear students, before I continue, let me also again give you some introduction about this lesson. What is this all about, and what is the purpose of writing this lesson by Nick Middleton. So before that, I would like to get a confirmation from you people. If I'm audible loud and clear, please text me quickly so that I can continue with my lesson. So any one of you can take the initiative and text me if I'm audible to you loud and clear. Tanvi, Shubham, Anam, good morning. Vinit, good morning. All of you. Okay, Anam, thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay, so once again, let me tell you what is this story all about. Hmm. Uh, okay, thank you, Vinit, Shubham, Shatosh, and Tanvi. Thank you so much. So let me tell you uh, what is this story all about once again. This is a travelogue. Okay, this is a travelogue by an adventurer called Nick Middleton, who is the writer. He is giving us a picturesque visual to the about the journey to Mount Kailash. Okay, about his journey to Mount Kailash. He had undertaken the thrilling but arduous, means very challenging journey to up to Tibetan Himalayas to take part in the ritual called Kora. The road taken by him had been the trade route, that is why it's called Silk Road. Silk Road was in ancient time a trade road, okay, through which through this route lot of business is to take place, trade is to take place, okay, lot of business is to take place between China, Tibet, India and Afghanistan, okay. So that is why, that is what is Silk Road all about. Silk Road is basically a trade route between China, Tibet, India, and Afghanistan. This is the account, this story is the account of his journey through the mesmerizing mountain terrain up to a place called Darchan. And from Darchan, he would trek up to the mountain. Okay, so this is the brief introduction, and the journey has already started. And the writer has given us his description of his journey. Okay, how difficult it is to go up to the place called Darchan. Um, it is very difficult because it's a mountainous terrain. Moreover, there is a lot of fog, snow. There is a lot of, you know, road is not good enough. Okay, so there are a lot of challenges to make uphill journey. That is why it was very difficult for the writer uh, and his driver to continue on the journey. So let's begin today's lesson. So Silk Road, as I told you, dear student, it is about the narrator's journey from slopes of Ravu to Mount Kailash to complete the Kora. It's a ritual, okay, Kora. To bid him farewell, Lamho gave him a long sleeve sheepskin coat. He hired Satan's car for his journey and uh, took Daniel along to escort him to Darchen. Okay, so he had two companions, Satan, his driver, and Daniel, another companion, or you can say the guide. Okay, so we have completed till here, clean air. So now we shall continue from here. As hills started to push up once more, okay, from there we shall continue today. Okay, good morning, Shanti. Good morning, Prakhar, Aditya, Chaitanya, Sadvika. Good morning, all of you. So, anyway, as hill started to push up once more from the rocky wilderness, we passed solitary drogbas. Drogbas means shepherds, or you can say the nomads, the original inhabitants of that place. Okay, they are called drogbas. The Adivasi, you can say. So we passed solitary drogbas tending their flocks. They were tending their flocks. Flocks means flocks of sheep, cows, whatever. Sometimes men, sometimes women. These well-wrapped figures would pause and stare at our car, because for the Adivasis, for the original inhabitants of that place, that is something adventurous, that is something worth seeing, because they hardly see people, okay, traveling in car, okay, uphill mountain. So for them it's a interesting view. That is why they were pausing and staring at the car, occasionally waving as we passed. Okay, when the track took us close to their animals, the sheep would take evasive action, veering away from the speeding vehicle. Okay, what is the meaning of this? The sheep would take evasive action means they, when the animal came in contact with the vehicle, they used to run away. Okay, as they moved closer to the animals, the sheep would take a slippery path and would suddenly move into another direction, away from the car. We passed nomads' dark tents pitched in splendid isolation, usually with a huge black dog, a Tibetan Mastiff, standing guard. They came across not only the sheep but also Tibetan Mastiff also, okay, who came on the way. They were there, uh, you know. So these beasts, this that is the Tibetan Mastiffs, would cock their great big heads when they became aware of our approach and fix us in their sights. As we continued to draw closer, they would explode into action, speeding directly towards us like a bullet from a gun, and nearly as fast. So those Tibetan Mastiff, okay, the huge dog used to follow them and used to chase them up to some distance, okay, chase their vehicles up to some distance on their onward journey. So this is what the narrator is suggesting here. I mean, he's just describing whatever he has seen on the way, and how difficult it was to go uphill uh, with the vehicle. That is what he's exploring. I mean, sharing with us. But the difficult part of the writer is that he has written this description of his uphill journey to Darchan in a very difficult language. In a very difficult language, he had made use of his description with beautiful language, literary language. So that is why you may not be familiar with some most of the words and phrases used in the description. Therefore, you need to be a bit careful and attentive while I explain you. Okay. These shaggy monsters means that mastiff, okay, Tibetan dogs, blacker than the darkest night, usually wore bright red collars and barked furiously with massive jaws. They used to bark very, very uh, noisily, okay. They used to bark. They had a deafening sound, when they used to bark. There was deafening sound when they used to bark. They were completely fearless of our vehicle. They were completely fearless of our vehicle, shooting straight into our path, causing Satan to break and swerve. Okay, they were very arrogant and they were very much aggressive. They used to, launch attack directly onto the vehicle. Okay, when Satan had to sometimes break and swerve. Okay, make a cut. The dog would make chase for 100 meters or so before easing off, having seen us off the property. It wasn't difficult to understand why ferocious Tibetan mastiffs became popular in China's imperial courts as hunting dogs brought along the Silk Road in ancient times as tribute from Tibet. Okay, so dear students, the narrator means to say here that the Tibetan mastiffs or the Tibetan dogs, hunting dogs, were very much in demand in China, in China's imperial courts, the king's court. Okay, why? Because of their aggressiveness, because of their hunting skills, because of their ferociousness. Okay, they were very popular, and they were brought along the Silk Road. Okay, in ancient times as a tribute from Tibet. So these Tibetan mastiffs became very much popular in China's royal courts as hunting dogs. They were brought along the Silk Road as a tribute. Tribute means respect in ancient times from Tibet. So they were very popular, okay, in China's imperial courts. Tibetan mastiffs, because of their aggressiveness, because of their fearsome look, because of their, you know, aggressive attitude, they because of their hunting skills. Okay, so Tibetan mastiffs were very popular in ancient times. By now we could see snow-capped mountains. Mountains were all snow-capped, means snow covered. By now we could see snow-capped mountains gathering on the horizon. Okay, horizon means whenever they're looking up, they could see that mountains were all snow covered. We entered a valley where the river was white and mostly clogged with ice, brilliant white and glinting in the sunshine. We entered a valley. They entered a valley in their uphill journey where the river was wide. Alongside there was a river. The river was wide and mostly clogged with ice. Icy river, brilliant white and glinting in the sunshine. Okay, shining in the sunshine. It's a river, but it's full of ice. The trail hugged its bank, twisting with meanders meanders as we gradually gained height and the valley sides closed in. It means, dear students, the track was moving along the river bank as they gained height, as they were going up. And the valley was closing in towards them. It's small valley, okay? The valley was closing as they were progressing with their journey. The turns became sharper and the ride bumpier. Now, as they are making onward, making progress in their journey, the turns, because mountain roads, you might be knowing there are a lot of turns like this. Okay, there are a lot of turns. So the turns became sharper and the ride bumpier. The ride was also full of jerks or bumps. Saturn now in third gear as we continue to climb. Okay, Saturn was in third gear. Okay, as they continued to climb. The track moved away from the icy river, laboring through steeper slopes that sported big rocks daubed with patches. Okay, daubed means um, spreading patches of bright orange lichen. Dabbed with means covered with. Okay, covered with bright orange lichens. Lichen means a slow. Lichen means a slow growing plant which grows on walls. Okay, beneath the rocks, hunks of snow clung on in the near permanent shade. I felt the pressure building up in my ears because as they were climbing high up, they are experiencing less and less oxygen. So therefore, the pressure was building up, and there was more of snow also, because as they were climbing high up, they were experiencing more and more snow all around. Okay, we struggled round another tight bend and Satan stopped. He had opened his door and jumped out of his seat before I realized what was going on. Snow, said Daniel, as he too excited the sorry exited the vehicle. letting in a breath of cold air as it did so. Okay, because now it's all snow capped road also. Okay, not only the mountain road also, a lot of snow on the road, so it's difficult if three of them are there in the vehicle, the load will be more. Therefore they both of them have come out to observe first, actually to observe first whether they can progress their onward journey, and how they can progress. They were making observations, actually they were experimenting, they were exploring what kind of things are there on the road, to what extent, is it possible. So for experimentation, for examining the condition of the road and the situation, they came out of the car to examine and then take a decision what to do. We struggled round another tight band, and Satan stopped, and then Satan, the driver, stopped. Okay, he stopped because he had to examine what is there on the why the car was not moving, or why the car was finding it difficult to move. He had stopped, opened his door, and jumped out of his seat before I realized what was going on. Snow, said Daniel. There is a lot of snow covered road, said Daniel, the guide, as he too exited the vehicle. He also left the vehicle. He also came out of the vehicle, letting in a breath of cold air as he did so. A swath means a long strip of land is called swath. A swath of the white stuff lay. Swath of the white stuff means here the snow lay across the track in front of us, stretching for maybe 15 meters before it peered out, before it, sorry, petered out means before it eventually ended, and the dark trail reappeared. And then, trail means the road, actually, okay, the road on which they are moving. So sometimes it is covered with snow, sometimes it's covered with dirt. So now snow has given way to dirt. Dirt trail reappeared. The snow continued on either side of us. The snow continued on either side of us. So again, the snow started smoothing the abrupt bank on the upslope side. Okay, smoothing the abrupt bank. Because of the snow, it was difficult to progress with their journey. The bank was too steep for our vehicle to scale. And then one more difficulty they faced was their the road became too stiff now. Okay, so there was no way around the snow patch. I joined Daniel as Satan stopped onto the encrusted snow, and began to slither and slide forward, stumping his foot from time to time to ascertain how sturdy it was. I looked at my wristwatch. We were at 5,210 meters above the sea level. Then the snow did not look too deep to me. Okay, so it was a very difficult journey for them. Actually, it was very, very difficult journey. Why difficult journey? Because it was sometimes filled with snow, sometimes filled with dirt, and it was moreover, it was an uphill journey. Okay, that is why. And moreover, there are a lot of twists and turns, there are a lot of bands. Okay, in their onward journey, their uphill onward journey. Therefore the ride became the vehicle ride became even more difficult for them. Okay, uh, the snow did not look too deep to me, but the danger wasn't its depth. Daniel said, so much as its icy top layer. If we slip off, the car could turn over. Now the he said the car might turn over if we slip off. He suggested, as we saw Satan grab handfuls of dirt and fling them across the frozen surface. Okay, so they were clearing some dirt from the road. It seems we both pitched in, and when the snow was spread with soil, Daniel and I stayed out of the vehicle to lighten Satan's load. Okay, so Daniel and the narrator came out of the vehicle so as to make the vehicle light for Satan to somehow manage to progress, okay, with his vehicle. He backed up and drove towards the dirty snow. He backed up and drove towards the dirty snow, eased the car on to its icy surface and slowly drove its length without apparent difficulty. So when Daniel and the narrator came out of the vehicle became lighter, and then slowly Satan could make his way through the dirt, through the mm, you know dirt without facing much of apparent difficulty. Anyway, 10 minutes later, we stopped at another blockage. 10 minutes later, what happened? They had to stop at another blockage. Another blockage was experienced by them. What was this? Not good, sir, Satan announced as he jumped out again to survey the scene. Okay, so Satan jumped out to survey the scene. What was this? Hmm, 10 minutes later, we stopped at another blockage. Not good, sir, Satan announced as he jumped out again to survey the scene. This time he decided to try and drive round the snow. Drive round the snow. The slope was stiff, very much stiff slope, and started with major rocks. Now, rocks have also come in the way, but somehow Satan negotiated them. His four-wheel drive vehicle lurching from one obstacle to the next. Okay, his four-wheel, vehicle was facing one obstacle to another. Okay, facing one obstacle other and after another. In so doing, he cut off one of the hairpin bands. Okay, in doing so, what he did, he cut off one of the hairpin bands. Hairpin bands means the sharp turn, okay, the blind turn, the blind curve, or the blind band, okay, that is there sometimes in the uphill journey. That is what is hairpin bands all about. Hairpin bands means a very sharp band in a road, especially a mountain road. A very sharp, a very sharp, band in a road is called hairpin band. Regaining, so he experienced hairpin bands on his uphill drive, and then he regained the trail further up where the snow had not drifted. And somehow, in this manner, he has managed to go further up in the hill. Okay, I checked my watch again as we continued to climb in the bright sunshine. We crept past 5,400 meters, and my head began to throb horribly. Okay, because as they were going up and up, okay, they were facing a lot of problem in breathing. Might be that is why sometimes he's facing some headache. Yeah, and his head was also spinning, okay, because of the height. I took gulps from my water bottle, which is supposed to help a rapid ascent. Ascent means steep climb is called ascent. Okay, so he had to drink some water from his water bottle so as to enable the oxygen flow in his body properly. We finally reached the top of the pass at 5,515 meters. It was marked by a large cairn of rocks. Okay, so when they rose above 5,515 meters, it was marked by a large cairn of rocks. Okay, cairn of rocks means a large pile of stone which was decorated with white silk curves and some dirty prayer flags. You can see they finally reached the top of the pass at 5,515 meters. It was marked by a large cairn of rocks festooned with white silk curves. Okay, covered with the rocks were on the rocks, silk curves were there, and racked prayer flags. Prayer flags you might have seen, like prayer flags, like prayer flags. So these are considered to be very much auspicious for the Tibetans, or for in Hindu community also we have prayer flags, okay, which we keep hanging on the door. Okay, so these are the symptoms or signs, you can say, of something which does good to us. So that is why this particular can this area, when they climbed up at 5,515 meters, There it was marked by a large cairn of rocks which was covered or decorated with white silk scarves, and some dirty prayer flags were also there. We all took a turn around the cairn in clockwise direction, as is the tradition. Okay, it is a tradition. You have to take a turn around the cairn in a clockwise direction, and Satan checked the tires on his vehicle. He stopped at the petrol tank and partially unscrewed the top, which emitted a loud hiss. The lower atmospheric pressure was allowing the fuel to expand. Okay, that is why whenever he unscrewed the top, but the tank, from tank there was a huge sound coming. Okay, it sounded dangerous to me. Maybe, sir, Satan laughed, but no smoking. There was no smoke, of course, from the tank, but there was a lot of sound, atmospheric, because it was expanding. Okay, at lower atmospheric pressure. What happened? The fuel was expanding. My headache soon cleared as we carried down the other side of the bus. Okay, as they were moving down the other side of the bus, that time what happened, his headache somehow managed to go. It was 2 o'clock by the time we stopped for lunch. We ate hot noodles inside a long canvas tent, part of a work camp erected beside a dry salt lake. Okay, the plateau is pockmarked. They have reached on a plateau actually. So now on the plateau, they have tents and all this. So what happened, in this plateau, Satan was checking on the tire, and there and whereas the writer, the narrator, was having a sip of having a sip of tea from okay, in the nearby stall, from the nearby tea stall. So that is what is the description here. You can see the plateau is pockmarked with salt flats. Okay, salt flats means uh, everywhere, salty surface and brackish lakes, vestiges of the Tethys Ocean which bordered Tibet. Vestiges of the Tethys Ocean means at that on that plateau what happened, you can see the remaining, the last part of the once existed ocean. Okay, ocean, one name of the ocean was Tethys. So once existed means long, long thousands of years before it existed. Okay, now little bit of existence can be found. Okay, so that is what is called vestige. Vestige means the last part of something. The existence of the last part of something is called vestige. So on that plateau, they could see the vestiges of the Tethys Ocean also, which bordered Tibet before the great continental collision that lifted it skyward. Okay, uh, because there was some tectonic plates or some geographical phenomenon for which the Tibet became at a high went at a higher place, and it's something like it happens inside the earth. Okay, so in geography, these are the geographical phenomenon, like which for which a lot of changes took place a long, long, long time ago. Okay, so earlier at that place there was Tethys Ocean. The remnants, or you can say the last part of this can be seen, can be evident. Okay, there on that plateau. This one was a hive of activity. This one was a hive of activity. Men with pickaxes and shovels trudging back and forth in their long sheepskin coats and salt and crusted boats. This one was a hive of activity. Okay, this particular plateau was a hive of activity. Okay, it was full of activity. Men with pickaxes and shovels trudging back and forth in their long sheepskin coats and salt encrusted boots. Okay, men were, because maybe a lot of people stay there. Okay, and it's a hive of activity. That is why it's a bit crowded place there. All wore sunglasses against the glare as a steady stream of blue trucks emerged from the blindingly white lake laden with piles of salt. All were wearing sunglasses, okay, against the glare, as a steady stream of blue trucks were coming from the blindingly white lake, okay, laden with salt surfaces. By late afternoon, we had reached the small town of Hor, back on the main east-west highway that followed the old trade route from Lhasa to Kashmir. So by late afternoon, they reached a small town called Hor. Daniel, who was returning to Lhasa, found a ride in a truck. Daniel, who was returning um, to Lhasa, he found a ride in a truck. So Satan and I bade him farewell outside a tire repair shop. Okay, so Daniel got parted from the narrator. Daniel got parted from narrator and the and Satan. So now Daniel is gone. Now the narrator will be left with the Satan, the driver. We had suffered two punctures in quick succession on the drive down from the Salt Lake, and Satan was eager to have them fixed since they left him with no spares. Besides, the second tire he had changed had been replaced by one that was as smooth as my bald head. So, dear students, what happened, um, like the two tires got punctured, so therefore Satan was busy in fixing these tires, okay. And in the meantime, let's see what the narrator does. Hor was a grim, miserable place. There was no vegetation whatsoever, just dust and rocks, liberally scattered with years of accumulated refuse, which was unfortunate given that the town sat on the shore of Lake Manasarovar, Tibet's most venerated stretch of water. So Hor, the description of the of a place called Hor is given here. Hor was a grim, miserable place. There was no vegetation whatsoever there, just dust and rocks, liberally scattered with years of accumulated refuse. Because people used to go to Mount Kailash, so they used to throw here and there many things, refuse. So it has become a dirty place now, which was unfortunate. Why? Because once upon a time, because on this town of Hor was situated Lake Manasarovar. Okay, and Lake Manasarovar was considered to be the Tibet's most respected water body. Okay, therefore, it is very unfortunate that this town, this place of Hor has become very much dirty. People have made it dirty because they have thrown litters here and there. Ancient Hindu and Buddhist cosmology pinpoints Manas Sarovar as the source of four great Indian rivers: Indus, Ganges, and Satluj and Brahmaputra. Actually, only the Satluj flows from the lake, but the headwaters of the others all rise nearby on the flanks of Mount Kailash. Okay, the other rivers, they rise from the flanks of Mount Kailash. We were within striking distance of the great mountain. Okay, now they have almost reached Mount Kailash. We are within striking means very small distance of the great mountain, and I was eager to forge ahead, and the narrator was eager to reach there. Okay, very much eager to reach there. So another 1 or 2 days required. Is a long lesson, dear students. Okay, so dear students, let me tell you, I have shared with you something like a lesson called Mother's Day. I hope you people have already seen this, and you please write it down today itself. Okay, when your classes will be over, you please update your lessons. um, Write down the lesson notes. Okay. And then after you finish writing this lesson, I shall I shall upload another lesson for you. Okay, but you finish it off first. Okay, so I want all of you to update your lesson notes. Okay, of the chapter. What is the name of the chapter? The name of the chapter is Silk Road. Okay, sorry, that I have sent you is Mother's Day. Okay, so you please update today after the class. Okay, and Silk Road we shall continue for another 1 or 2 days. It's a difficult lesson because he is giving us description of different things, and there are a lot of things, there are a lot of words and phrases that you are learning new. So when I shall update it on my website, I can I'll write down some of the words and meanings besides what I'm showing you, okay, on live class. So you don't worry. You please focus on whatever I teach you live, and then the rest of the support will be given through the print, to the text on my website. Okay. So dear students, before we wrap up, can you please give me your attendance, like how many of you are still watching me? Can you please just text me yes, just text me yes, so that I am able to understand that you are still with me, you are listening me and watching me. Can you please text me yes? Okay, Vinith, thank you so much. Vinith is there with me. Who else? Let me check out. Vinith, Ashutosh, Sohani, Shubham, Prakhar, Riya, Utkarsh, Anam, Mayur. So almost everybody, except I suppose, um, except mm, except Aditya, Chaitanya. See, these people are not there. Chaitanya is not there. Aditya is not there. Shanti, it seems, is not there. Then Sahiba, are you there? Sahiba has left, it seems. Sahiba has left, it seems. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that is the problem with students here. There are nearly 60 students in class 11. There are nearly 60 students in class 11. But when it comes to live classes, um, one third of the students are present almost. Not even, not one third, it could be one fourth, I think. Um, okay, it's I think one fourth of the students is present in live classes. So please pay attention to all the subjects equally, because otherwise, because of computer and English, PE, your percentage will go down. Okay, so remember that these are cushioned subjects for you: English, PE, and computers. If you can score good marks in these three subjects, then even if you score 5 or 6 marks or 10 marks less in physics or mathematics, English will come to your rescue. English will help you maintain the percentage. Understood? English will help you to maintain the average marks. Okay, therefore you've got to be very, very attentive in these subjects. Okay, and there are many instances where, in the final board examination, some students have scored very poor marks in physics, but as they've scored more than 90 in English, their overall percentage has improved. They can say proudly, I have scored 72% in class 12 examination. It's not because of physics or chemistry they can feel proud of. It is because of English and computers and PE. They are saying, okay, I have got 72%. People are not going to see whether your physics has or your chemistry has or your mathematics has helped you to score 72%. No, people will say, just see your average marks. Understood? Therefore, please pay attention to all these three subjects as well. Attend to all these three subjects, okay, and at least 3 days in a week you please study. Okay, 3 days in a week you study English, P, and computers. Okay, and other three subjects you study every day. Okay, so dear students, we shall meet the next day, and please be present. Tell your friends to be present. um, next day I need another 2 lectures to complete this, or at least one lecture I will try. I'll try next day to finish. Next day I'll try to wrap up this lesson. So but please do write down. Okay, please do write down the lesson notes from Mother's Day, which I have already sent you on the group yesterday. Again, I shall send you this today, so that you update your lesson notes. Okay, thank you very much, Mayur, Sohani, Utkarsh, Shraddha, Bhaigasri, Prakhar, Vinit, Ria, Chaitan. Now again, you have come. Where are you? Okay, Shraddha Patel, thank you so much, all of you. Please be present on my next class as well. Bye bye. Take care and have a nice day. Plus, please do update your lesson notes from Mother's Day, which I sent you yesterday. Okay. Bye bye.